Welcome back to another amazing episode, you guys. Today, I'm joined by Rg. How are you?
I am good. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. Where about are you tuning in from?
I am in California, San Diego.
Oh, nice. Is it sunny there?
Today it's not very sunny, but it's not hot. It's not cold either. So
Oh,
it's a nice weather. Yeah.
oh, nice. It's cold here. You need jackets.
Yeah. Everywhere is. It's
Yeah,
crazy.
yeah. So, Rg, tell us more about you. What is your story and what do you do?
Yeah. So basically I started as an immigrant, like before I turned 18, parents decided that we should move to the United States. I was born and raised in the Philippines before this and didn't really have much of a direction because I was young. And then eventually I finished my degree. And then because I wasn't a citizen back then, I
Mhm.
was like trying to figure out, all right, for like IT stuff back then, you gotta have a security clearance for like the jobs that I wanted to go for. But then in order for me to get a security clearance, I gotta have a citizenship, but I didn't have that, right? Because I was still a green card holder. So I was like, all right, well, what is like I guess like the fastest way in order for me to accomplish both, but also, just to find some purpose in life. And like my dad recommended that I should join the military. And I was like, is this guy crazy? Because like that's not something that's like that that's ever like, that's not a career that like any of my relatives has even done. Like I'm the first military person in our family, even like, on both my mother and father's side. But, like it worked out. But I'm also at that point that like since I was a kid, I've seen my mom and like my relatives in the Philippines run like different kinds of businesses. So I guess like I have the entrepreneurship mindset in me. So even though I'm still in the service, it's also all about like how do I get more out of my own time, out of the energy that I have, and to just translate it to like how do I get, like the skills that I have to help more people.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. Thank you so much for sharing. Thank you. Yeah, it's definitely challenging, as immigrants,
Oh
because we
yeah,
gotta do it all over again. Did you had to learn
exactly.
English, right? How was it?
So thankfully, in the Philippines, you don't really need to learn English from scratch, but it's more so the accent, right? Like I know I can hear myself. I still have the accent, but like I can only imagine when I was just starting out, very hard accent, like like what you see basically on like the movies. Even if you
Yeah,
watch Netflix, like
yeah.
Filipino celebrities, like when they speak English, you definitely hear like the heavy accent.
Yeah,
So that
yeah.
was the main challenge because like you're trying to speak what you're trying to say, but they don't understand you. And I was like, and then like the flip side is when they speak because you're not used to the way they speak English.
Mm.
You're like, what are they saying? You know?
Yeah, yeah. I used to live with two Filipino ladies.
Okay.
Their birthday parties and the food. I'm like,
Oh yeah.
man, I live in the right place at the right time.
Oh, yeah.
It was incredible. I love the sense of community that you guys have.
Yeah.
There's just something to it that you don't easily find here. The
Oh yeah,
community, the
definitely.
love, the longing to connect with other people. So I love that. Yeah, yeah. So it was Veterans Day on the 11th for you guys,
Yeah.
right? Here it was Remembrance Day.
Okay.
Isn't it interesting that Canada and the US have like same holidays?
Right. Yeah.
Like different country, there's a border, but let's celebrate
Mm-hmm. Like
together.
might as well just be the same country.
Yeah, yeah, because there's July 4th, July 1st
Yes.
for us. I'm like, yeah, we're on the same
Yeah.
side.
Like,
We're
come on.
fine. Yeah. Tell me more of your experience in the military. Are you still in the military?
I am. I have like 12 years in the service now. And then basically 8 more, I'll be eligible to retire. And so far, like the experience has been like crazy, like I'm
Mm,
not gonna sugarcoat that, because like you really start from like before the Navy, right?
mhm.
Um, you're a civilian. And the first thing that they do when you join the military is like they take you to boot camp.
Ooh.
And boot camp, looking back, is like when you watch it from the movies, like they yell at you and stuff like that. It is true. It
Oh,
happens.
it is?
Yeah,
Okay.
it is. Yeah. Um, but basically, like they're trying to train you to follow orders and
Hmm.
to execute. And I remember like the first 48 hours when you're in boot camp, they don't let you sleep.
Ooh.
Yeah, like they're trying to see like how you can function um
Yeah.
under like very stressful environment and all this stuff. So they're yelling at you, making you do all this stuff. You do
Yeah.
these workouts, all that good stuff. But
Yeah.
after that, like it's really been easy. My work in the military is all about financials. So it's not like I'm one of those that's like, carrying a gun, bombing, or like doing physical physical movements and stuff like that. We still do that, but it's not the main point of like my job. Like for me, my job is like more of like HR/finance.
Mhm.
So, and like because I have an IT background, that worked out really well because I'm generally just easy. It's easier for me to navigate the computers, the systems that we use, and all that stuff.
Hmm. Yeah, that's awesome. Do you teach people of what you do on the computers or how good you are at it?
I actually for like the side business that I have, I actually help business owners with
Mhm.
like setting up like systems, automations, and all that good stuff.
Oh.
And so like because of like how fast AI is nowadays,
Mm.
I think the biggest shift for like the business side is that you don't necessarily need to do everything from scratch. Like you
Yeah.
have AI to help you. So we're at the point right now where like, because before, like, the biggest thing maybe like 10 years ago was like if you build a website,
Hmm.
that's money. That's an easy money maker. Nowadays, not really. It's more about how you implement like AI with those business applications.
Mm.
So like right now we're focusing more on like creating softwares.
Hmm.
Like for example, like how to help businesses get more reviews, how to get more returning customers, all that good stuff. Like little micro softwares that we're doing to solve like specific problems that a
Hmm.
business have.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's
Oh,
that's yeah.
oh, nice. That's really cool. You're doing the cool stuff.
It's fun. It's nerdy, but it's fun.
Yeah, that's awesome. Let's touch a bit on SEO. I
Yeah,
get like mountains of emails of people wanting to help grow my
of
channel,
course.
and
Yeah.
they message about SEO. I had to look it up, search engine optimization.
Right.
Um,
Yeah.
I mean, with AI and then YouTube algorithm, can you touch on that? Does it actually work?
It to me it does. But
Okay.
it depends on how much effort you put into it.
Mm.
Because like the way it's marketed is that it's like a one-click solution, right? Like there's
Yeah.
softwares that tells you, hey, if you use this,
Mm.
and you suddenly get leads or like traffic and all that stuff. But it's not really the case. I think it's SEO is still all about the fundamentals of like how much effort you put in. And let's just say for us specifically, the SEO services that we offer, for example, we don't necessarily offer like the SEO that you mentioned that's like being marketed to you. We focus more on like local, like Google business profiles and reputation, like review side. And we focus mainly on that because we have a software that helps business owners, for example, get more reviews from their existing customers and actually have a system in place. That way, they don't need to be the one asking for it. And in turn, we also integrated AI, for example, to help them respond to those reviews using their brand like their voice, like
Mhm.
their tone of
Hmm.
tone of writing and all that stuff. And then in turn, with all of those, we integrate those reviews onto their Google business profiles, which then if you have more recent reviews, for example, on your listing,
Hmm.
then it helps you get more leads. So that's kind of like the SEO route that we were focusing on. But I know like there's multitudes of like other SEO out there. Like some services like offer like on-page SEO,
Hmm.
which basically means what goes on your website, right? Like
Yeah.
because there's a bunch of things that happens on a website that like like a normal people will probably not think about. And then there's also the off-page SEO, which is basically outside factors of your website that helps you rank more or basically show up first page in Google.
Oh, okay. Interesting. Yeah, thank you for explaining that. Yeah. Because I mean, with YouTube, it's so hard to know um, if the person who's messaging actually exists.
Right. Yeah.
Right?
So I think
Yeah.
yeah, there's definitely a lot of bots and like automated, cold calling, call messaging and all that stuff. I think that is the biggest problem with like the digital marketing space itself,
Mm,
like everybody's percent because like the barrier to entry to be a digital marketer,
mhm.
like to be an agency owner, don't quote, to be an entrepreneur, it's really easy. You know, all you have to do is basically just even like post something that like, hey, I do this, but do you have results? You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
saying you do this versus you actually producing results
Mhm.
are two different things. So I think like that's the biggest problem in the space because like it's just like you said, like you don't even know if like the person is that
Yeah.
exists and
Yeah.
stuff like that.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
like if
Yeah.
even if they exist, right? You don't even know like what kind of results they can actually produce for you.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah, that's true.
yeah.
Yeah, because I've had a few, they just take screenshots of my channel. I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm like, rude. Ask me first
Yeah.
before you go on my channel, take different pictures and send
Mm-hmm.
it to me. I'm like, okay. I actually
Yeah.
appreciate people that actually message me prior to copy and pasting and saving
Yeah.
anything. But yeah, it does make it hard for authentic companies who's in the
Definitely.
same field to advocate and get clients because
Yeah.
there's all this mess going behind the scene.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, tell us more of you have a company that's connected to what you just shared?
Yes.
Okay.
Um, so basically Enzon Media is essentially the hub, but we also have like this microsoftwares that I mentioned. And one of them is like Review Pal, for example. Like that's the main bread and essentially what it does is like collect reviews for you systematically, request reviews, and
Hmm.
then those reviews gets posted on like different review websites, like for example, Google Business Profile, Yelp, Facebook, G2, like
Hmm.
everywhere you can think of that like your customer might be going to look up
Hmm.
about you, we're there. And then another one is like helping business owners, for example, to get repeat customers, right? Like you've been in Starbucks, or like your salon, right? Like sometimes like they, for example, like on coffee shops, right? Or like boba shops. I don't know if you drink
Oof.
boba.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So but
Yep.
basically, right, like when you
Yep.
go there, they give you like this card, right? And they stamp it, right? Or like
Yeah.
they put a hole and then like that's kind of like the loyalty program,
Okay.
right? And then
Yeah.
I don't know if you can see this, but
Mhm.
essentially it is the
Okay.
loyalty program where
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
people can like business owners can advertise just like QR code, and then you as the customer, you scan the QR code and then this loyalty program gets added to your Apple Wallet or Google Wallet. So that's one of the Microsoft that we offer. And then for you as a customers, you can track how many rewards you have on real time, and then it notifies you whenever your freebie is available.
Oh,
And
okay.
then yeah, we just really enjoy creating
Mm,
this Microsofters.
yeah.
And the funny part is that we're not even like more than 5 people at a time whenever we do this. Like my my the people I work with are like my classmates essentially from the Philippines. So you would think, like out of all this that we're doing, you would think like there's a big team behind it, but like with AI, like you can pretty much do a lot of things now. It's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah, yeah, that's awesome. With AI, I'm not against it. I use it. Um, I'm just trying to because on different platforms on YouTube, it says that AI can make mistakes.
Oh
How
yeah.
can like if someone's using AI and obviously they may be familiar with it, how can they catch those little mistakes by themselves without AI helping them? I don't know if that made sense.
Do you mean like how can they catch AI making mistakes in general
Yeah,
or
yeah, yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah.
okay, well I think first things first, like there has to be a mindset shift. Because like people I because like again, like it's all about the marketing, right? And like the
Mm,
positioning.
yeah.
Like the way AI is like being positioned right now is that you just type something and it produces results.
Yeah.
But it's a computer, like it doesn't have a default setting where like it does the fact checking,
Mhm.
so I think the biggest mindset shift is that it helps you produce more much faster, but instead of you being the doer who does all of those, for example like content, right? Instead of you being the one who's like writing scripts and all this stuff, for example, in a YouTube space,
Mhm.
you're auditing the work instead. So
Mhm.
if you look at AI as like an employee or a staff instead of it being like your savior, like that's
Ah,
two different
yeah,
things.
yeah.
And like when you start looking at it that way, you're now positioning yourself as the expert that's guiding this tool, or like even like you can even name chat GPT, like I don't know, like let's just say Sarah, right? Like you can
Yeah.
name it Sarah, and you're basically the mindset for it is that you're training Sarah so
Mm,
she can be your best and most efficient um staff.
mm,
So when day, you're not gonna get frustrated with like the results because like now you can do like feedback loops or like if it's giving you like a bad result, you can say, hey, this is not the result that I'm expecting. You should do this. And then you provide example. It's kind of like if you're actually working with a real person, you're not just gonna sit there and like keep paying them monthly or like for years and
mhm.
not give them feedback. So if like it's all about like the mindset around it.
Mm, I love that. That's a very fresh perspective of thinking of it and working with AI. The difference, though, I find with with AI versus giving a real person actual criticism is that AI does not judge. You know
Yes.
what I mean? Like if it's an actual person, which is sad, I think people should be able to take healthy
Yeah.
criticism to grow.
Hmm.
It doesn't judge. It's
Yeah.
okay. I'll reroute this. I'll redo
Yeah.
this. But yeah, yeah, I agree with you. Yeah. So do you have projects that you're working on? Other
I do.
projects? What are you up
Yeah.
to over there?
Um, let me so actually like we just came up with this app, another app, right? And then this one is like more for like contractors. So I'm sure you've heard of Canva or Photoshop.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
like on the landscaping contractor space, there's there's really a limited amount of options that you can use to present your potential work
Mm,
to pitch a client, right? Because like in order for you to do that, and I'm not sure if you're like into the landscaping project, but this is like a pain that I've had since we bought our home here in California. We've had multiple landscaping projects that we wanted done for our own home,
mhm,
and we've talked to countless of contractors, like me and my wife, and every time we do, they always tell us what their vision is or like how they would do it, right? Like essentially their pitch.
mm,
And then here comes the quote, right? Like they give you the quote, all right, this is the estimate, and then this is what we'll do. But like I'm a very visual person. So I'm like, all right, I can't picture this. Like, what are you telling me? So because that was like a pain point for me. And even after you sign a code, you're basically just wishing and like praying that they actually do produce great results, right? So I had this thought that like, all right, well, I know how to use AI, and I have an IT background.
Mhm.
So I was like, why don't I use those skills and then make something that's easy to use? Not because like Photoshop, for a normal person, it's probably gonna take them hours to learn that, right? Maybe like weeks. It just depends on like how much time you put in it. Canva is good, but also it's more like of a general design software. It's not built for contractors, right? For example. So I said, all right, well, there's gonna be a better way for me to just talk to like contractors, for example, and then they just tell me. So I said, all right, what if I built an app for contractors that they can use to show the designs or the plans to their potential customers instead of just talking about it? So that was like the most recent project that we have. We actually just launched like honestly like on Veterans Day. Like I started running the ads and all that stuff for it. And we're getting leads now, which is pretty cool because like 3 weeks ago, this app didn't even exist. I was just thinking about it. And then I was just like trying to like put my skills into test. And so basically we built this design or like yard planning software where essentially it works as easy as Canva, where like you can type text, you can add, pictures, whatever.
Mm.
But what we have there are like real life materials, for example, like stuff that you would find from like construction stores, DIY stores,
Mhm.
and then you can just load it. It's as simple as like if you're a contractor, you take a picture of the yard of your potential customer, you add some you add some products and materials to it, and then now you can show it to them.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah, that's
Oh.
pretty much like the latest.
Yeah, that's really cool. Excuse me. I love Canva.
Yeah, I
Love
do too.
it. It's for me, it's fun, it's relaxing. Maybe for other people, it's stressful because not
Yeah,
everyone's into tech stuff. Anything laptop, they're out, right? So I love
yeah,
it. Yeah, I love that you use a very similar guideline, or if I may put it that way. It
yeah,
just makes it more fun and easy to use.
yeah.
Yeah.
But I think the I was like thinking of it too, right? I was like, well, why don't they just use Canva? And I was like, but then I remember like because like my uncle in the Philippines, like he owns like an HVAC company. And I know for a fact that even if like if he uses Photoshop, AutoCAD, Canva, he's not gonna figure it out right away. Like you said, it's not as easy
Mhm.
for like normal people or like I guess like busier people. So I'm just like, all right, well that's like kind of like the mindset that I had for it.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah. I feel so sorry for the older
oh
generation.
my God, yeah, like the technology is just progressing really fast.
Yeah, I'm having to catch up, and I'm
Exactly,
for someone who doesn't even know how to use a laptop. I,
Oh
I,
my
I
God.
hope there are companies that are teaching the elderly,
Yes.
people from that
Mm-hmm.
generation, how to actually connect
Yeah.
with AI. Yeah,
I think that would be like a really good, like niche to really
Mhm.
focus on. Not just for like the money aspect, but also just to help in general.
Yeah,
Because
yeah,
like, yeah, because like it's gonna be harder for like the older generation to like adapt
yeah.
if they never even had to like deal with it in the first place. It's gonna be
Yeah,
crazy.
yeah, it is. Yeah. So do you have anything else you want to share as we wrap up? I want to make sure I uh let you share anything you want to.
Um, I guess like I don't know, like if you have like business customers and they want to sign up for a free trial of any of our software, I can just share the links and then
Yeah,
go
sure.
from there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, definitely. All right. I think I have two questions as we wrap up. The first one is, where can people find you? Where on social media are you hanging out in?
Mostly Facebook. I know it's old school, but Facebook is where I'm at.
Okay.
Just if you look up RG Enzon, I'm there. And then definitely enzonmedia.com. And all of my socials are there as well.
Okay, awesome. Last question for you. What is the meaning of life for you?
I think meaning of life is like really like finding purpose
Mm,
and like figuring out what your goals are and just I don't know, be consistent.
mm.
Like basically like if you have a goal, don't keep moving it, you know, but actually find ways to like reach that no matter how hard it is. Cause like
Mm,
like living my life, like essentially like starting over in the US,
mm.
like I've seen it where like we started basically from nothing. And like like looking back, it's just crazy to think that like my parents, like when we had nothing, like when we got here, it's just crazy to think how much hustle and grind they did in order for us to be where we're at. Like I'm not saying like we're rich people, but like they set us up good. So
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and like that wouldn't have happened they if they just gave up or like they didn't follow through their goals.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Thank you for sharing. Yeah. As an immigrant, I get it.
yeah,
I do. I do. I had to learn
exactly.
English and
Oh my God.
I didn't want to, but
Did you have to learn English like after you migrated or before?
No, I started learning very young when I was back in Haiti.
Okay, okay.
And then I came here. I had to do grade 10 twice. English is a very hard language. I don't care who says it's easy. It's
All
not.
right, yeah.
It's
Especially
really
the
hard.
accents.
Yeah, yeah. It's
Like they
hard.
say it's a universal language, but like it depends on like how people say it and like just the random jargons that people use as well. It adds to the complexity of it.
Oh yeah, and then one word can you can use it for a million different things. Just one.
Exactly.
Yeah, yeah,
Exactly.
yeah. Wow. Well, thank you so much for coming on the podcast. I admire your journey, your strength, and the legacy that you're leaving, and just the hope that you're giving people through what you're passionate about. So thank you for sharing.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.